I'm going to share with you guys today what getting death threats in high school taught me and how it helped me create a $3.5 million business. This is going to be a very personal story, and then I'm going to make sure that I make it relevant for you after I share the context. In essence, what happened is I was in high school, and there was some bullying throughout my life. I had been used to that pattern. Yet when I was a junior in high school, it actually turned quite malicious. And started with a friend of mine making a YouTube page about me and my girlfriend at the time. And I remember looking online and reading in disbelief, like, how could someone say this about me and her? It was so intricate and in-depth, it was alarming. I ended up finding out who it was. I confronted him, he denied it. Eventually he owned up to it. But a number of other people that were in our circle started to turn on me at the same time as this friend made this MySpace page. And before I knew it, I ended up in a situation where I was at an all-boy high school, and one of the most prestigious high schools in the area. And it was my dream to play varsity baseball for Christian Brothers Academy, is what it was called, CBA. And yet I ended up deciding to leave that dream and to step into the public school system that I had grown up in, and to go back to my local high school, Middletown South, because I knew that I had friends there. And when I ended up in a position where the friend group that I had turned on me, I felt very isolated and alone. And yet it felt very threatening, right? There was an aspect where I just didn't trust who I was around. Things felt not right. And lo and behold, I decided to make the difficult decision to transfer. And when I transferred, I lied to everyone and told them it was about baseball. I said, oh, well, I want to play college baseball, and it's not working out here for varsity this year, I don't think. I'm just going to sit on the bench, but I need to play. I need to start so I can go ahead and get some reps for college. So I make the transfer, and I blame it all on baseball. But what actually was interesting is deep down, I knew the truth, of course. And one of my teammates actually called me, left a voicemail on my phone, and said next time he saw me, he was going to kill me. And that's when I knew, wow, okay, my intuition was correct. Something was feeling really off being at CBA still. It felt dangerous for some reason. And then lo and behold, I start getting death threats. Now we handled that, and I'm of course safe. I'm 35 now and everything's okay. But for me, it was a deeply traumatic experience that I didn't know how to process at 17 years old. Here I was giving up on my childhood dream, which was playing varsity baseball for CBA since I was 9 years old. And it almost felt like I was running away. Yet I needed that safety and security, and I knew that I had a safe haven, and I chose to go after it. And the reason I share this with you is that this story, there was a redemption aspect to it, and I don't think it's entirely relevant for this, but that experience taught me that when you shine bright, others will try to dim your light. And authenticity has been the story of my becoming. So I've gone through a journey where I've had multiple life experiences, 4th grade, 6th grade, 9th grade, junior year, even in college and dental school, and then in my men's group, where I got bullied, and people, in essence, created a situation that made me very uncomfortable with being who I am. And I allowed them to dim my light. I allowed them to minimize me because it felt not safe to be me. And every time I would creep back and I would become me, another bullying experience would happen. And it was clear that I wasn't getting the message. I wasn't learning the lesson. I wasn't stepping into my fullness and holding it. Instead, I would allow myself to shine. Someone else wouldn't like the reflection they saw, and then they would try to dim me. And I would allow it to work. I would get dimmed. So what I learned eventually in my 30s is this pattern. It was not just that it was jealousy. It was actually more of a reflection of the mirror that people saw toward themselves when they saw my light. So my light and my vibrancy and my authenticity made people uncomfortable. And instead of them building themselves up to match me, they actually tried to tear me down to go to their level to make themselves more comfortable. So that was something that I had to recognize and learn. And as I learned that, this is how it helped be relevant for business. Because the more authentic I became, the more authentic I was able to show up as the real me. And that's the most magnetic version of me, which actually led to the most amount of business that we possibly did. As I was going through this realization about the patterns of the bullying experiences I had experienced, is when I actually started to shift the way I was producing in my business. And I went from producing 500,000 a year to producing $1 million in a year. In 1 year, I doubled my production. And it wasn't because my skills all of a sudden changed overnight. It was actually because my confidence shifted because I started showing up as me. So instead of being the doctor people expected to meet, I was just Miles. And yet, of course, I was a doctor still, but it allowed me to show up as the real, genuine, authentic me, and people can feel that transmission. And that's something that builds trust. It creates a rapport that people feel confident in. So my increased confidence made my patients feel more confident, and it made my team feel more confident. It helped me be a better leader. It helped me focus on my communication. It helped me be more real. My marriage was thriving. My relationship with my son was improving. My relationship with my parents was improving. All of a sudden, everything started to shift because I decided to no longer let people dim my light. And this is why getting a death threat in high school was important. Even though I didn't quite understand it when I was 17, I eventually understood it in my 30s. And I saw immediate financial reward, but more importantly, I saw immediate reward in every other aspect of my life. And to me, that's even more important than the financial piece. Yet what I'm highlighting here for you is the need and the necessity to be the authentic you in the business that you're operating. Because if you have a business that is requiring you to put on a certain face and you're not showing up as you, then it's not going to be sustainable in the long run. Whereas if you can have a business that just is of you, and it is the thing that highlights who you are, and it's actually an extension of you, it will be much more life-giving and much more sustainable over the long run, and it will be more lucrative. It will actually make you more money. So for me, I had to go through the experience of learning what it felt like to have people to try to dim my light and to actually reclaim my power, to realize my truth, and to step into the fullness of my potential. And that is what most healthcare professionals actually struggle with because of our experience in professional school. Our experience in professional school beats us down, it leaves us with low confidence, and then we go into the rat race. And we lose the essence of who we are through that process. So I'm here to help guide you back to the essence of who you are while helping your business thrive and improve more than ever. It's not to move across country like I did, and rather it's to step into the fullness of your business being an expression of you so it feels that much more sustainable, and that you return home not burned out, but rather full of life and ready to pour into your family. This creates a more genuine connection and a deeper presence and more heartfelt experiences. What is the point of going through life if you're doing it alone? You want to go home and you want your family to feel you and be there and love you, and you love them. And that's why you go to work, so you can actually go ahead and provide for your family, yet you want them to have you, not just have money. So let's have your family have you and help you step into the authentic you and be who it is that you're actually supposed to be. So thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. I'm going to have a lot more of this coming your way, and I would love to keep sharing with you.